Hello everyone and welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura and today I will be making black oud soap. Those are the colors I'll be using there. I'm just going to mix the lye water in with the oils. The oils I use are vegan and organic. I'm just going to stick blend this together because I wasn't sure how this fragrance would affect the soap. I decided not to get this to a thick trace because I wasn't sure if it would accelerate. This is a new fragrance that I wasn't able to get any information on. I'm going to be dividing it up into 3 different colors. But first I have to add the fragrance oil. So that's going in there. And I decided to start with the whisk just in case it accelerated, but as you can see, it became much more fluid. So this actually seems to have decelerated the soap. So this is good if I wanted to do like a swirl or something really intricate, but I had something else in mind. And you'll see how, because this fragrance was so slow moving, backwards moving actually, that I had to go with something else. I decided to attempt it anyway, but you'll see how that turned out in a minute here. So first I'm going to add the white. That's going in, and we're just going to mix in the other colors. So I've got a blue. It's a really pretty blue color. And then after that I will add in the green to the last pot. So here's the green going in. And now I'm going to have to stick blend these in after I whisk them. So like usual, I often will whisk first to see if I like the color, and then if I decide it needs more blending, I'll do more blending. I also wanted to check and see if the soap batter had started to thicken up, but of course it hadn't. It's still very liquid. The white is probably the most fussy. I find that just whisking it in doesn't do it for me usually. I have to stick blend it to get it to the level of whiteness that I like. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm also trying to thicken the batter, so I'm going to stick blend this for quite some time, and you'll see that there's really no change. The batter stays just as liquid as before, which is unusual. You know, normally by adding the white and the fragrance, you know, by now there would be some definite, you know, thickness, but it's just not. It's still very fluid. And again, this would be fine if I was going to do a normal, like swirl, but for this pattern, I was hoping that bottom layer would firm up a little bit, but it doesn't. So my original plan was to pour the green and the blue into the leftover white, and then to layer a like an in the pot swirl on top of that white layer. But because the bottom doesn't set up, I'm not actually able to do that. It doesn't work the way I'd planned, so I'm going to give it a shot anyway just to see what happens. But you'll see in the cut that this didn't turn out quite like I had hoped. But that's okay, because it just means I can use this pattern that I had in mind for a different soap where it does, where the soap does firm up properly. So what I'm doing is pouring this onto a spatula to help that color float on the top. And you can see it is kind of floating on the top there, but what's actually happening is it's sinking down to the bottom and making a really neat swirl. So I'm just going to fill up the mold with this. And there's the last of the soap batter in there. And now I'm just going to add some blue stripes. And then I'll make a pretty pattern with them later. I'm doing blue rose instead of the usual, you know, spots and things that I do. I wanted to see how this would look on the soap. I definitely like the way that the top turns out. And then I'm just going to swirl this top and put a pretty pattern. Alright, so that's it for this soap as far as making it goes. And we are back about a day or so later to cut it. And now we can see what that pour did on the inside. And here we go. So it did turn out really pretty. Obviously not at all what I had intended to do, but it looks really neat. Now I thought I should also mention this fragrance, if you're not familiar with it, it has like citrus notes, mint notes, a little bit of like geranium and clove and other spices, as well as sandalwood and of course oud wood. So it smells really good. This fragrance is also more masculine or gender neutral, so it's not as, you know, floral and fruity as some of the more feminine soaps. If you're interested in this soap, it will be available on February 1st, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. I upload every Monday and Thursday, so I hope to see you back soon. And thank you for watching. You have a great day.